Hello and welcome to the Bank with the Backdoor podcast. My name is @J Don't Fade, bringing another weekly episode here. We are getting live at 10:15 p.m. A couple of small technical difficulties, not becoming a regular thing here at Bank with the Backdoor. We are debating on probably at this point, moving our time slot to be a little earlier. I know a lot of people want to watch and at least get the betting picks that I make, and haven't been able to do that because it's fairly late. So I feel that, I hear you, and we're looking at maybe making that a little bit earlier. But today, let's get to more pressing news for now. I have joined with me Tommy from Mafia Sports Report. Tommy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
What is going on, brother? Yeah, hey, Mafia Sports Report. I just joined up with Buffalo FAMbase Network, and it's been a hell of a ride so far. And we're only like a month into this, building this channel for the people out there. So it's really good, man. It's really awesome. And check me out. I'm on every Monday at 9:00 with my boy Mikey. Hey, look, Scott's in the building. But yeah, man, we just kick it, man. Have a good time on my show, bro. And talk Buffalo Bills football, man. And that's really what people want to talk about now, man, especially now with the Super Bowl favored team, which is unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome, honestly. We were just talking about it before the show, actually, how it's crazy how, 4 or 5 betting show, obviously, 4 or 5 years ago, the Bills were one of those teams that were that plus 7,500, plus, 8,000 odds, where you're getting 75 to 1, 80 to 1 odds. You throw 20 bucks on them, you make good money. Now they're, 5 to 1 odds. So it's nothing crazy there. You know what I mean?
You ain't
the odds on
shit.
favorite. Yeah, exactly. Unless you're putting down the bag, you ain't really taking much back. So anyways, we're going to jump right into, we're going to talk a little bit about the picks tonight. Definitely going to hammer in on those first 2 picks. Might even touch a little bit on the 3rd pick. And then we're just going to kind of wrap it up with the other picks that we had here. Probably some names that maybe some people aren't familiar with yet, obviously, other than Matt Ariza, of course, Punt God. He goes by, I don't know if he goes by that, but we've done that nickname the football community has on him, and let's hope that he brings some truth to that name while he's here in Buffalo. I think he will. I love the pick. But either way, we'll jump right in. Cair Elon. Okay, I think I said that right. Cair Elon.
Cair Elon, yeah.
Yeah, Cair Elon. Great, rich, beautiful, professional NFL bloodlines that he has, of course. And his tape looks pretty good. I got to be honest. It felt the same way. And I said when we were doing the 2022 Buffalo FAMbase draft special that get ready. The Bills are going to take somebody who is going to be somebody that either we don't know a lot about or don't know of, or someone that we didn't think they were going to take. And I got to say that for most people, I'd say it didn't seem like they were expecting this. Were you, Tommy?
I wasn't expecting that player to be picked. I thought once we traded up, it was going to be Andrew Booth. That's who I really have my hopes for. However, I changed my mind. I did, and that's not because I'm just a homer and I'm just changing my mind. Listen, I have players that I don't like, and I'll stick to that. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. And by the way, forgive me for my voice. I've been doing this for 9 hours in the last 2 days. So my voice is a little gone from talking. So anyways, did my draft profile on the guy. I absolutely love the pick now. He's 6'2" almost. He's physical at the line. He ran a 4.4 40. So he has good speed. That's something that Levi Wallace lacked. And that Levi Wallace gave up a lot of cushion. And that was my number one problem I had with Levi. And I didn't hate on Levi like everybody else did, like a lot of Bills Mafia. I thought Levi Wallace was serviceable, and I still think he's a decent corner. But we just needed to upgrade, and this is your upgrade. Here we go, guys. And I didn't want a running back in the first round like everybody was wanting. And look at that, guys. Breece Hall, right? Second round, right? Second round. So what's that tell you? I don't think this was the class where any running back stood out as first round talent. So we needed a corner. In my opinion, that was a need, even though everybody wants to say that we only draft what's best on the board, best player available. Let's be real. Brandon Beane traded up for a need, right? He didn't trade up to get best on the board. Like that's not true. He traded up because he knew Dane Jackson is our CB1 as of right now because Trey's out. Cam Lewis is a big question mark, and we need a CB that's going to come in here and be a starter day one. And I believe this guy is that guy.
Yeah, and he said as much. Brandon Beane has really hammered down that he has heard not only the concerns of the fans, but he even mentioned like his neighbors basically have been telling. Like, I mean, he really knew that like we needed a cornerback, and they asked him today. Actually, a fellow Buffalo FAMbase member, Mookie Hawkins, asked him today. Essentially, what was the? I'm paraphrasing here, of course. What was the focus of this draft essentially, and Brandon Beane basically said to get a corner and then to fill in some depth. That's all he said. So corner was the position they were going for there.
So that's a need.
Yeah. Right,
neat,
exactly.
correct?
And he knew that, which
I just want to make sure everybody, because I've had this debate for like a month now, right? When my co-host Mikey, who is really about on me about Brandon Beane only takes best player available, and that's how you should do. And I agree somewhat to that if your team is full. Like like last year, I felt like that was not a draft for need draft, right? Gregory Rousseau was best on the board at that point. We didn't need an edge. It was more of okay, let's just get him now. Jerry Hughes is going to, be gone next year, but it wasn't a need for the year, right? Gregory Rousseau wasn't. We have to have Gregory. We needed a corner. This was a need draft, at least for a corner. The rest, like you said, is just cherry on the top, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's on a side note, not to get off topic here, but Greg Rousseau, I think, is going to be really impressive this year, dude. Like, he really silently had a great season last year and got a lot better as the season went on. Yeah, the U, man. My buddy's a huge Ravens fan, huge U fan, too, and he was hoping they would have got Rousseau, but they didn't, unfortunately.
Scott coming in there, if you want to, Scott says need merge with BPA. It was only number one grade left, so exactly, but Scott, come on now. Listen, you understand my point, right? Like, so like hypothetically, let's say Elon was off the board and Booth was there. That's it, right? Now you're Booth. Do you think Beane would have traded up for Booth?
No, because he obviously didn't have a first round. I don't know I wonder what ground grade he had on him.
There was a lot of. Now I do question this though, Jason. I really wonder. We'll never find out, or maybe we will. I really wonder if Beane tried to trade up more than 2 spots to get like a McDuffie. You get what I'm saying? And
I think he did. You know why I think he did? Because he mentioned him by name right after they made the pick when they did their press conference. He mentioned they went and got McDuffie. Like, that was the guy that he wanted, and I think the Chiefs were like, nah, not we need him. Real quick, yeah. So David Jones, what number James Cook got? From what I know or what I've seen at least, it could just be speculation. I think it's 29. 29 was the number that I saw.
They always switch. Singletary had 40 when he started.
Well, isn't 29 Taiwan Jones, or am I wrong on that? Did Taiwan switch his number again?
I gotta look, man. I gotta look at the numbers. I get
29 was not Carlos. Was that Carlos Williams' number? Carlos Williams was 29, right? I can't think of the last 29. Drayton Florence.
I don't. I'm sure there's been 29s in here, bro.
I think he was actually 20. Carlos Williams. But regardless, yeah, so back to Cair Elon. I do like the pick, and I mentioned to Tommy before the show that I thought one thing that I thought I saw that I didn't like from Elon was that he played the game slow. Now I get it. He runs a 4.39. I'm not saying he is slow. He's not slow, but I thought he played the game slow. Now here's the reason I think I don't watch tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of college film like a Joe Marino might, or a guy from the Draft Network might, or anybody might, honestly, that's really into college football. So it could just be the difference from me watching a lot of NFL football and watching that's hilarious, Scott. And from watching a lot of NFL football and then watching college football and seeing that slower. He could just also be very decisive. I like the fact that he's able to play physical at the line and he's able to jam. That's important to me. That he probably has the ability to play man on man if he wants to, if they want to.
I mean, look, if you really look at Trey's game, Trey looks kind of slow out there. He's not slow. It's just the way he covers. I think he covers to the side of his hips or something like that. He said he covers a little different than a lot of corners do, but he doesn't look flat like he has top end speed. And not that he does, but he's not slow. Like Levi Wallace like that, he gave up a lot of cushion because he had to. He would get burnt if he's playing, press man, right? So
he's just not a great athlete. He just had a little more size.
Yeah, he was able to get back on some of those and prevent it. But if you go back to that Patriots game,
if Micah Hyde doesn't exist, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, if Micah Hyde's not there, he got blown by, right? So I hear what you're saying. And listen, he'll get better. He's working with Trey. He called Trey right away. So that's awesome. And who better to pick his brain than Trey White, right? And Trey, I'm sure, is gonna give him a lot of pointers while he's chilling, right? Rehabbing. And I mean, I'm excited, bro. Listen, you have to be excited about this corner coming in because you can't go into the season with Cam Lewis as your CB2, bro. I'm telling you, you couldn't.
I think he may have earned a roster spot. Like I'd like to see him on the roster, but I don't know that he's ready to start.
He'll make the roster. I am curious if Bean goes out and gets a free agent, a vet corner.
He said as much. He said there's still going to be. He said there's going to be guys that are going to cut after these draft picks and guys that are already out there that we're still going to look through to see if
100%. And don't forget trades. I mean,
yep.
Listen, AJ could still be moved, right? There was some Bills Mafia thinks AJ Epinesa should be traded. It happens
what's his
a lot.
Real value right now? He doesn't have any real value.
You know what though? Listen, we traded
a pick, a 6th round pick,
4th round or a player. If a player in the 4th round, you got to take something eventually because he could be a cut. And if they're thinking about cutting him, you might as well get something. Brandon Beane loves to do that, by the way.
Well, Brandon Beane did mention, I caught the end of his press conference today, and he said like they were talking about Wyatt Teller and how he jumped a little early. And he admitted like, hey, I was wrong on that. I jumped a little early. He's like, I take the ownership for that, which I really respect because you don't get a lot of stuff from like the egotistical NFL that it is, So for him to say that and like own up to it means a lot to me as a fan, and I'm sure the fan base. So,
well, what I read from that, and I tweeted it out, was Bobby Johnson and Brian Dable, right? Like, first of all, Bobby Johnson, like, let's be real here. He did a terrible job here. Okay. He didn't make this O-line any better from the days they came here.
He's rough.
And clearly he doesn't know how to evaluate talent because he told Bean it's not in our system. He doesn't fit our style. It doesn't fit our system. And he said that in the presser. And Dable was part of it too. Didn't fit our system. Get rid of him, right?
He's really an all-pro.
Pretty much. Right. So it goes to show you, like, bro, you know what I mean? So the good thing is Cromer's in town. And for as much as I've been dogging Cody Ford, if now's the time for Cody Ford to step up, no more excuses. You got a guy now who knows how to coach an offensive line. If Cody Ford can't do it now, then Brandon Beane, you got to just you got to say, hey,
I mean, we've got to give up on Cody at this point. I'm giving up on Cody Ford, and we just got to admit that he benefited a lot from going to offensive line factory and offensive line university in Oklahoma.
Mikey's in the building. What's up, Mikey? Yeah, no, listen. We'll see. I still think they're going to give him an opportunity.
Where's he going to play, though? You know what I mean? Barring injury, where would he play?
Yeah, that's a problem too. The injury history with him. He's just he can't stay healthy. But let's see. I mean, it's a friendly. Listen, Ryan Bates isn't guaranteed that right guard spot, right? It's not.
Bobby
like
Hart is back. That's important, right?
Yeah, well, back for practice and practice squad.
He doesn't. I swear to God, Bobby Hart doesn't even like us, bro. He doesn't even like the Bills fans.
He's just like, God damn, again, bro. All right,
I know. He's like, I'll just take the paycheck for now and sit at home.
Oh shit! All right, bro. He's just eating Doritos.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Talk shit. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's what we got. Well, I know we didn't too much about Elon there, but there's not much to know yet. I mean, he's coming out of a bigger school, SEC school, so he's playing good competition. I like him. You know what I like the most about him? And I tweeted it. At first, I was a little skeptical, and naturally, because it wasn't my guy that I picked. Like, that's your first reaction usually. We're all excited watching the draft. It wasn't your guy you picked, so you get all excited and you want to join in like everybody else talking, and you make a judgment, a judge call, a snap judgment, really. And I like him, though. I do like him. I think he's got a little bit more speed. And I like the one thing I really think that's important is he has that Buffalo Bills DNA where he says stuff that like you're not going to hear from everybody else. Like, oh, I want the playbook on the jet. I want to learn from Trey. Like, you know, Trey, our guy that a couple years ago, real diehard Bills fans, when we were here before during the drought, was just this young corner that no one really knew. The guy that everybody's like, oh, who do they got? Who do they got? And then he was an all-pro corner, you know, one of the best corners in the league now, and people want to learn from him. So we've got a real chance to have, and if they lock up Poyer, which Poyer will be here to stay.
What did this draft tell you, Jason? No safeties, right?
Yeah, they're keeping Poyer. Yeah. That's going to be a no-fly
right
zone.
There, yeah. Right there, everybody in the chat, Bills Mafia, like that, you guys, that told you something, right? Like they're going to get a deal done. They're definitely going to get a deal done. I would be shocked if they don't. Like honestly, I don't think he was thinking safety at all in this draft.
No,
at all. So
no, not at all. And I didn't hear any questions asked. I'll have to go back and watch the pressers, but I haven't heard anything asked about it. I think if it came down to it and they didn't get something done right now, like Jordan Poyer is not the guy that's going to sit out the season. He's sitting out right now because the agent's probably saying like, hey, sit out. And he's not like, you know, I think he probably would have, and I don't know if this happened, but hey, like, yo, if you guys really want me there, like, you know, I'll be like, he wants to be here. And we have, because he understands, like, we were the team that took a chance on him when no one else did and gave him a multi-year deal. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't start out on a 1-year deal. He started out on like a 3-year deal or something along those lines. And like, we paid him a little bit. You know what I mean? So I like him. I do like Jordan Poyer. Of course I like him. He's my favorite, probably my favorite defensive player. And I think, in my opinion, the best defensive, the most.
I still think he's playing. Player. Yeah. And by the way, he's playing at like an all pro level.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He wants to get paid. Like, you can't blame him. It's not like the guy's made a ton of money, you know. He wants one big nice deal.
Yeah. Brandon Beane will get that done, bro. He pays the guys that outdo their contract initially. Like it's proven. Like he's done that for every player. The players that he doesn't pay, or he lets, you know, go off and see what they can get, are players that he feels like he can get in the draft maybe, or a little bit cheaper free agency, like Harrison Phillips, right? All right, go ahead, Harrison. You know, go see what you can get. I'm going to get 2 guys for the price of 1. And that's what he did, right? Daquan Jones.
Guys who I like. I'll be honest with you. I like Jordan Phillips better than Harrison Phillips. I always have. Dude, I think what he brings in the stadium is insane.
Oh, the electricity that he brings alone is just man. I remember when we first got him from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And his first game. Remember the game against the Dolphins too?
Yeah, like that's the game I'm thinking of. They had him backed up against their own end zone, and he just kept like getting through there. The horn was going off. I have a season ticket holder. It was nuts, dude. Like
but we played a game in Miami, and he was like,
yeah.
For everything, because he was like playing out of his mind, man. Like he was like trying to kill somebody out there. But no, he brings it. He brings the juice, man. And I absolutely love what he did to this line, by the way. So.
Yeah, I think it's important, and I want to see what Shaq has for us in store too. My question is, are we looking at now? Yes, I get the Bills are a good team, so third round. You know, the third round pick isn't like, you know, we're not talking like it's a top 75 pick anymore. You know, it's you know, around the 90s and in that branch. But with drafting linebacker, an outside linebacker at that, who I know is Tommy's favorite pick in the 3rd round, there, are we looking at a possible scheme changer? Because where is he playing? I don't understand. Like, you're not drafting an A.J. Klein, a guy who's going to be in the field 10, 15% of the time in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? He's not a middle linebacker, so it doesn't say anything about Edmonds. Are we looking at like a scheme change of playing more, you know, basic 4-3 or what?
I don't. Yeah, I'm confused. Like that's the only pick in this draft, really. Because listen, the late round picks, like Luke, Tunola, whatever the hell's name. Like,
the guys that were more
Bale Inspector. Like, I'm not expecting much. You know what I mean? If they turn out to be good or something happens, they want, be an awesome special team, they're cool. You know what I mean? Like, all right, awesome. If they don't do good, listen, there were 6 or 7 round picks, but this guy's a 3rd round pick. And you expect something more than just, hey, we drafted him to be a special teams guy. Like there was other guys, other linebackers, and there was other linebackers that were graded higher. They kind of reached on him, number 1, right? So it wasn't like he was the best linebacker available right there. And then I'm like, okay, fine. No, there was like better linebackers. And then people are saying, oh, Matt Milano's replacement. Maybe. Really? I don't know.
Yeah, but why? We just locked him up to a deal.
Yeah, but is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, So what? So for the next 2 years, he's going to be special teams guy? Like, what if he doesn't do good in special teams? We don't know that. He could be terrible on special
That's
teams.
That's a long future, pick to make to replace Matt Milano in 2 years.
This is going to be a pick that in 4 years from now or something like that, or 3, 4, whatever, we may not even remember.
It's Adolphus Washington, yeah.
Very possible. Yeah, I mean, and listen, that happens. Brandon Beane, second round, third round, sometimes he starts to struggle a little there. Though I do like the second round pick.
Yeah, second round pick James Cook. I actually I had a tweet that I was talking about, and I like James Cook. I do.
That's correct, okay? Mikey.
And I like James Cook, and I had thought originally when I saw the pick that Devin Singletary might be a little bit upset because year after year we replace the. I don't want to say replace. We try and fill that second running back hole, or maybe it is second. Here's the thing. James Cook is going to be better than Devin Singletary. I'm convinced of that. He just looks better. I think he's going to be. I think he could end up being comparable to his brother, Delvin. Honestly, I think he's that good. If I'm Devin Singletary, I'm a bit upset about it, though. I'm a bit upset that that they keep doing this to me, and I want to be a bell cow. And I'm saying I understand today's NFL. We need more speed. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And people will say, "Oh, well, Devin Singletary only had a good last 6 games." That's a lie and a half. Devin Singletary has been productive every single year. He's never finished with I believe, and I could be wrong here, 4.7, 4.6-ish yards per carry.
Correct.
He's always in the 4s, meaning that he's an automatic. You give him 3 touches.
Oh, yeah.
On average, he's going to give you a first down every single time, plus a couple of yards. It's always come down to the carries. People remember bad spurts because they give Moss 3 carries and they give Singletary 2. And then they don't give Singletary any for 10 carries. And then they give him 5. Like, you have to give that guy consistent carries. And when you've given him consistent carries, he balls out. He does it every time. His rookie year, he was great. People forget how good he was. He made people miss in a damn phone booth his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
He still does it. I just think he needs a little bit of we need a speed upgrade there. However, I like Devin Singletary, and I think once he's gone from the Bills, he's going to go somewhere and get a decent amount of snaps.
Sure. So, he'll go. Maybe he goes to a team that runs a little bit more. You know what I mean? That could that a system that works a little bit better. But listen, I'll be real. I think he loves playing for Buffalo. He loves Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen trusts him too. They started trusting him a little bit more later in the season, especially this past season, when we finally got our offensive line going, right? When Ryan Bates came in for Bakker because Bakker got hurt, which once again, I go back to the Bobby Johnson thing. Like, why wasn't Bates in for most of the season, right?
That was a question a lot for a long time.
Yeah. So once Bates got put in, right, then you kind of saw the running game pick up, right? Everybody saw that, right? So everyone's going, whoa, Singletary's on a tear now, right? Singletary was starting to really pick things up. And I think Singletary wound up having, 800? I got to look back, but he actually had a decent year for the limited amount of carries he had.
You're saying this year, right?
Yeah, this past season.
Yeah,
I believe he had
for the amount of carries he had. Yeah, he got close to. He's gotten close to 200.
I want to say he had 875. I could be wrong, and I think he averaged 4.
You are wrong, but you're not wrong by much. So he had 188 carries this year for 877 touchdowns on the ground receiving. He had 40 for 228 and a touch. That's good. Yeah. That's good. That's an average.
He had the most touchdowns. He had the most touchdowns he had since he's came in the league at 7. Am I right?
Yeah, it was triple. It was more than triple his closest amount. His first year he had 151 rushes for 775. Yeah, so he hasn't averaged less than 4.4 yards on the ground ever in his career, and that was last year. He had 4.6 this year, 5.1 his rookie year. He's averaging 4.7 for his career. That's
there
good.
You go. That's very good. Running back. That's very good considering a bad O-line for the past 3 seasons. If we're going to be real here, guys. Very good for a guy was limited in Dable's system, who barely used him at all in 2020, right? Barely used him the first half of 2021. So this season's going to be weird with the Cook, but I will say this: I kind of like it, and I still think Singletary is going to be the RB1. Okay, yeah. What I can see happening is Cook will be that in there for passing downs. He'll be there just to mix things up. I think they'll both have the same amount of snaps, maybe, but I think Singletary have more carries at the end of the season.
More touches, in general.
Yeah, more touches. And very, very possible. It's very possible that Singletary comes back on a team-friendly deal. I mean, honestly, he may like playing here. Players have done it. Who's to say that he doesn't have a breakout year and says, you know what, I'm cool. I like this Buffalo team. We won a Super Bowl. And
right.
I want to be back. Just saying.
Yeah,
or we draft a running back. And then you know, in that case, Cook will be the RB1 and we go out. The only problem with Cook is this. Only problem I saw on film and breaking down Cook. He's probably the best pass catcher in the draft, running back. The only problem with him is contact balance. Very bad. He gets hit, he goes down quick. He doesn't that's something Singletary
doesn't. Yeah, that's something he excels in. Yeah,
right. So in between the tackles is not where Cook is running. Right, Cook is to the outside, and that's kind of how we excel with this offensive line. Now, however, Cromer may mix it up. Cromer likes to you know, that's why he gets Saffold now. So we're going to be running a lot more in between the tackles. So we'll see how he holds up when he gets hit on first contact. Because
I think we could be really looking at like some kind of two. I think we could be looking at a lot of 2-back sets.
Yeah, bro. Think about it. So guys, think about it, Jason. So you got Singletary in there with Cook. Then you get Cook lined out to the outside. Or you got Cook and Singletary in the backfield with Allen. Who's getting the ball? Is Allen taking our RPO? Is Cook? Is Singletary? Is Cook going out for a play action? I mean, there's a lot that you can really do with this offense, and that's what makes this offense fun.
Double reverses, things like that.
Oh, dude, you could do so
McKenzie's
much.
In the slot still.
Bro, this is going to be the most fun offense. If you guys think 2020 was fun, like that offense, oh, dude, I'm telling you guys, get ready. Strap your seatbelts in. Because it's going to be a hell of a ride, bro.
I hate to say it, but these are the years that, and I knock on wood, knock on all the wood you got, but I hate to say it, but these are the years that something traumatic happens during the season and someone gets hurt. These are the years when you're prepped up to do like something amazing, and then someone big just goes down. I'm not even going to say his name, but someone big goes down. Like, this is just what happens in the NFL. You get all souped up and ready to go, and then, you know.
Knock on wood, bro, Jason. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. It just feels like everything's lining up too perfectly for us.
I wish I had my Debbie Downer here for you.
But Tremaine Edmonds, we'll have to see what he does this year. I have a feeling he's going to ball out this year, only because that sounds bad, but only because his contract's up. The guys play really well in contract years generally. I think it's on. I've heard guys talk about it before. Like, they do when they, like, at least in the NBA. They do work really hard. Like in baseball too, they work really hard. They'll train twice a day instead of once a day. Like, they do stuff to they want to get paid. I mean, that's what they do. So
Mikey says, don't put that bad juju out there, Ricky.
Oh God, I hope not, man. It's just in the back of my mind. I've been thinking about, like, everything's been working out so damn. It's like a game of Madden. Everything's been working out. But yeah, either way, well, that's enough for James Cook and Devin Singletary now. I think James Cook's gonna be really good. My only thoughts with the initial tweet that I had that's gotten a lot of attention, unfortunately, negatively, and I think that it was you're right. Maybe I worded it I could have worded it better. My only thought was, hey, if I'm Devin Singletary, I might feel a little bit shaded. And that's it, because I think he's worked his ass off, and I like him. I do, and I think he's a good running back. So,
well, I don't think you see, like, to that point, your tweet, I don't know. I mean, obviously, people are idiots. They'll say stupid comments, but I would have just told you, on that comment, no, like, I don't think he's mad at all. If anything, I think I would say he's more frustrated with Bills fans than like management getting running backs, because it's like, since he's been drafted, and I can remember, because I wanted them to draft him in the third round. There was a lot of like, oh my God, why Devin Singletary? You went FAU and blah, blah, blah. He's so small. And then 2019 or 2020 came, and we drafted Zach Moss. And then all Bills Mafia was like, Zach Moss, he's the guy. He's going to be. So, listen, players see this. They know, they may not respond, but they're human, and I'm sure it bugged them. Like, oh man, like, you guys are. And he had a decent rookie season. And then what do we do in 2021? We get Matt Breida, right? So here it is again, right? Content guys. Matt Breida is the RB1. He's the guy. He's gonna take us. He's so fast. He's going to be the pass catching running back. Singletary's terrible at pass. And look what happened. So Moss is averaging like 2.3.
Yeah. If Zach Moss didn't suck, Matt Breida probably wouldn't have seen the field.
Matt Breida has hands of stone, right? Like dropping everything.
I remember that. Yeah, that dropped. That
right. So what did we go? What happened, Bills Mafia? We went right back to what worked, who our best option was.
It's like that every year. Every year it seems like it's like that.
Yeah, so I don't think he's mad at management for doing that. I think he understands it's also a contract year, like Mikey said. And this is a business, right? So he understands that. And listen, maybe he's thinking this will be the RB2 to me. And we can and they're friends, by the way. They work out together in Florida. I think Zach Moss is the one that's on the bubble, bro. And Duke Johnson.
Yeah. Zach Moss. I don't know if he's on the bubble. I think he's outside already. I think it's
a
matter of time before he's gone, man. Yeah,
I think they saw. Yeah, I think they thought he was actually going to be like that bruiser running back between the tackles. Like just bulldozing people. And listen, NFL it ain't college, bro. Like these dudes come to lay some hits on you, bro.
Well, the fantasy football community propelled this narrative that he was good last year, and it's because they were getting jaded. I do a lot of fantasy talk too, and they got really jaded. It's because of his touchdowns. His touchdowns would make his points look okay, like 12, 13 a week, when really if you take a touchdown, he's scoring like 2 or 3. He's just not very good, and maybe it's since the injury. I don't know. He got a lot of the goal line carries. He's getting but between the 20s is Singletary, and inside the 20s is all Moss, and he gets the high value touches.
And I don't want to hate on him because he's actually a good guy. And
of course.
He was really good in college.
Just doesn't work out.
He reminds me of Singletary. Like they're very close in style. The only difference is with Singletary, he's a little bit more elusive and he has good vision. I think Moss, that's his problem. His vision is just not very good. He bounces into the back of his offensive lineman a lot. And that's why you see his yards per carry.
He's just able to lay the punishment a little bit more.
Yeah, but Singletary can too, bro. You ever watch Singletary? He runs people over.
Yeah, I've been in the stadium thinking like, oh wow, Moss had a good run there. My dad's like, no, it's Singletary. I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, you're right. I didn't even. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's enough for that. We're gonna jump into our last guy we're gonna talk about here. I'm gonna, I feel just because we touched on a little bit, I'm gonna skip right over the linebacker because I know you don't want to talk about him, and I don't know what's going on there yet. I really don't know what there's not much to really talk about with the linebacker right now.
No, there's just not. By the way, I do want to pull up some stats real quick for Cook.
Go ahead.
Who very impressive. So a couple things we didn't really talk about, and it's a good point. And Mikey actually talked to me about this earlier. I heard it as well. So I think he only had like a little over 200 carries in his career. So he's a very low percentage of attempts. That means he has a lot of life left on those legs. Right. So he didn't take a lot of abuse, as a lot of running backs did, like Motor Singletary, for instance. He ran the ball hell a lot at FAU. Right. This guy didn't. He 230 carries, not a lot. Right. He averaged 6.5 though. I mean, that's ridiculous. 10.9 on receiving. So he is a threat. And he's only getting better. So that's good. To see, and the fact that he's not, he's coming into the NFL fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh as can be, bro.
It was definitely something big that they were worried about.
Yeah, 297 total touches. Yep.
Yeah. Some they were worried about with Singletary and both Singletary and Moss. Some they were worried about Jonathan Taylor a lot too. That hasn't seemed to really manifest yet, but that's manifest later.
It depends on the player. It depends on the player, but it's still good to know your guy's coming in fresh. He wasn't used much, and you're gonna because listen, running backs, you know how that is, right? Most of the time you got them for 4 years and you use them and you abuse them and you go get another guy because that's how the NFL works, bro. There's only so many guys that make it past 5 years, 6 years, 7 years that are still playing at an elite level. Most of them get banged up. Most of them don't survive past 4 or 5 years, right? It's just the way it works. Look at the guy for the Rams. I forget his name, but he had the massive deal, got hurt. You don't even know. I don't even hear his name anymore. Look at the guy for Pittsburgh, Bell, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, guy was up, number one back for a while, and he's gone.
Yeah, that's that kind of
Saquon Barkley. There's
right,
guys that are up top for a minute, and
that's how the running back position is, and sadly right now, and
it's
kind of where it's headed. But either way, we're gonna get a little bit into punk god Matt Araiza. I'm gonna let Tommy tell you a little bit about him because I know we both like this pick, and I am gonna be right back.
Yeah. Well, the punt god Matt Araiza, by the way, does not like the name punt god. So, but he said pretty much, hey, Bills Mafia is going to call me the punt god, so I might as well just let it be. So, yeah, and by the way, the Buffalo Bills channel, YouTube channel, already ran a little short video clip, and it says punt god. So, sorry, Matt Araiza, but you are the punt god now in Buffalo. So, but yeah, listen, I love this pick. 6th-round pick. I believe 2 punters went before him, and he was the best punter in the draft. So that's a little weird to me, but hey, it's all good. He averaged, I believe, almost 52 yards a punt. It was like 51.7, I believe. He also can kick field goals, and he can kick off. Why is that important? Injuries happen. We played last year, I believe, against Carolina. Their kicker got hurt in warmups. What happened? They were screwed. They had no kicker. None. They had no backup kicker. So, not saying that Tyler Bass will get hurt, but it's always good to know that you have that guy that could step in. God forbid if that happens. My guy's back here. So it's always good to have that in your back pocket. The only thing is he hasn't had a lot of experience holding the football for kickers, right? So he's going to have to really get in there with Tyler Bass. And if he's dedicated to making this team, which he will, let's be real, he's going to make the team. But if he's dedicated to 100%, like, stamping it in, he needs to get with Bass because it's very important. Because listen, Bjorkquez wasn't that terrible as a punter. He was just an awful placeholder, right, for the kicker. He's terrible. So hopefully he gets with Bass in this offseason before camp, before all that crap. Because if you're dedicated to your sport, you're going to do what Josh Allen does. You're going to do what Singletary does. You're going to do what Diggs does. All the players that want to better themselves, you're going to go out, you're going to practice, right? So I assume that he's going to get with Tyler Bass and, go out there and kick some field goals, man. See what Bass likes. Bass likes the ball a little bit sideways, a little bit upper, whatever he likes. Make sure you do it. Get it right. Get it down pat, and you will be in Buffalo for a while.
Well, he has experience. Well, Brandon Beane's like, oh, if we wanted, he could kick field goals too. He's like, obviously, we never hoped that would happen, but
field
he
goals
could
and
kick field goals too. Yeah. So
field goals, he could do kick. Which I was just saying actually when you left. Listen, the chance of Tyler Bass getting hurt is slim. However,
that's a knock on wood right there.
Yeah, the guy at Carolina got hurt during practice or warmups. So, and we remember how that went, right? You remember the Carolina game? They had no kicker. It was a disaster.
Insane.
They had their wide receiver kicking. So
they were just going for it on every fourth down.
They had to. I don't blame them. But it's good to have that in your back pocket. A guy that can. And by the way, he's like relentless in tackling. But
yeah, he does chase guys down. Brandon Beane's like, you guys got to watch this film of this guy.
Yeah,
he actually chases guys down.
Right. But hey, man, this guy's booting 70-yard punts. The only thing I didn't see in his tape, in his film, is can he kick field goals at field goals? Can he kick punts at angles? Meaning, angled out of bounds, not always out of the end zone. Kick it out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
I would guess he can because that's
I haven't seen
important. That's incredibly important.
Well, I'm sure he can. But how good is he? The only tape I've seen in film I've seen him just booting the hell out of the ball. I haven't really seen any film, and I'll have to dive more deeper in it because I only watched a couple. But I wonder how he is on sideline kicks. You know what I mean? Like,
his pro comp is Pat McAfee, the one that I've seen. Pat McAfee's his pro comp, and they have his chance to start or his rating at 77.67%. So it's pretty high for a punter. It's probably one of the higher rated punters that's come out.
Oh, dude, the fact that he got 2 punters went above him is weird, bro. That's strange to me, but it worked out for us. Like I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. By the way,
go ahead.
You missed on one of the guys. The guy that we got, Shakir, the wide receiver.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Khalil. I didn't forget about. Well, yes, I did forget about it in a sense, but yeah, that's another guy I'm really excited for. I'm excited to see really what his role is going to be right now with McKenzie here, because he's kind of like a McKenzie, but he's really he kind of reminds me more of a Beasley when I watch the tape, which is strange. He reminds me of a Beasley kind of guy too.
He seems like he could do a lot of different things on the field type of player. He's not. I don't think he's like elite at everything, but I think he's good at everything. If that makes any sense. So that's really good to have, obviously, on the field. So and I believe something I read, he was a running back in high school, and a damn good one. So
he's taking snaps in college at running back too. So.
Right. So a running back converted to wide receiver. So that's really good for like jet sweeps. That's really good for if you're going to maybe even have him a kick return. He ran a 4.4, so he's not slow. I like this pick, especially where we got him. I believe they had him graded. Some had him graded a third round. Some people had him graded in the 5th, and we got him. I believe we got him in the 5th as well. So some had him graded 3rd round. Some had him graded 5th round. I think that was a hell of a pickup.
Yeah, everybody else to grab him too.
No. Yeah. Listen, I was saying we needed a receiver. I wanted Calvin Booth for the speed, but he was taken by that time. And I didn't feel like Calvin Booth was worth the trade up really at that time, where he went. But no, man, I think that's it for a 5th round pick. Like that guy could do some damage on the field. Like when he's in open space, he's gone. So that's kind of what we were missing on this team. And I like Isaiah McKenzie. He's fast. But how long is McKenzie going to be here for too? You know what I mean? You gotta. That's what the draft's all about, man. Players, are going to eventually move on.
I'm interested to see.
Robert Woods, yes, Booth. Mikey, good point. Yeah, so people on his draft.
Is he only a Robert Woods comp because the jersey swap they did with him was number 10? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I saw.
That's
that.
What I heard though. I heard that though.
Number 10. Well, yeah, I guess because of the Beasley. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. I saw him run a couple out routes and it looked just like Beasley running the out route into the end zone. So if he can do that, that was a really clutch, important, elite play. That out route to Beasley in the end zone it happened all the time too.
Remember too, though, Crowder's only here one season, right?
Yeah, that's a 1-year deal. Trying to get back trying to get a deal.
Right. It would be interesting if they don't extend him and this is going to be your slot guy. Very possible. He can play slot too. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Crowder was a sneaky free agent signing on the low. Like that
he
was
good in New York for most of the time he was there.
Oh,
he's really important.
He's been a good football player.
His first game there, he crushed us. So that opening, we ended up winning that game. Dude. It was a comeback game, but
oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
No, he's 12 or 13 catches.
That was a perfect guy to fill in for Cole Beasley. This is a perfect, we couldn't ask, and what we paid for him. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that was a steal.
I definitely like that signing. It's underrated. A lot of people wanted him years before, I believe, when he was first leaving Washington.
Yep.
Who was the other guy that was there? Was it Dotson? He never ended up doing anything, but Dotson, Josh Dotson.
I don't remember off the Jets.
He was a 1st-round pick, but he was. He ended up doing nothing. But either way, So beyond that, Drill's draft class is a lot of guys. I don't know if any of the guys in the last couple rounds, and you really are going to make the team. They're probably going to try and stash him in the practice squad. But
this Luke guy, Luke Tenuta, he comes from like a sports family. So he's one of those kind of and maybe they're just trying to hope for the Spencer Brown thing, late round, but he has a lot of bad qualities, but they say he's super tall, but he has short arms, which is really weird. So that's
like a T-Rex.
Yeah, so it's not really good to hear, but maybe hey, with Cromer, anything's possible, but that could be like a stash player. Like he's a practice squad guy, you just keep him there and maybe hope for the best. Christian Benford, I don't know much about. And obviously Balin Spector, I don't know nothing about.
Balin
so,
Spector.
Really I think the contributors, for this draft class is going to be obviously Cair Elon. It's going to be James Cook, and it's going to be Shakir. Those are the three guys that's going to make an. Oh, and Ariza, I'm sorry. So
what about the linebacker in the third round?
Oh God, no! He's going to contribute to nothing. To me bitching.
He'll definitely be a special teamer his first year. We'll see. He wants to impress us, but that was his thing. He wants to. I saw that Apex mentioned Kelvin Austin. That's who I was getting to, and then I cut myself off and didn't mention him because I'm really excited to see what Kelvin Austin does in this league. Burner. And he went to Pittsburgh too. So
what do you grade this? By the way, what do you grade our draft?
The draft as a whole.
Yeah, draft as a whole, and then draft as a whole, and each for the Buffalo Bills. What do you think they came out with? What would you grade?
Biasedly, I'd give it an A. Unbiasedly, I'd give it a B. A B plus. I give it a B plus because we addressed everything we needed. We did what we needed to do. We accomplished our mission, and we added in some really interesting guys, especially James Cook. So
So I guess I'm going to say an A minus. I'm going to say an A minus because. Initially it was like a B. I had like a B, right? Because we were trading our second round back to back. I'm like, what are we doing here? That was kind of a little upsetting. Then we got James Cook, so I said, okay. I said, all right, that made me feel a little better, right? And then the third round happened, right? And I'm like, right. So now it set me right back. And I'm like, oh man, I don't understand that. And then we got Shakir, and I go, whoa, right? And it brought me back up. And then we got Ariza, right? So then it brought me really back up.
And then we got Balin Spector.
Oh, then we got the Spector man. And that really brung me up.
And the T-Rex, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, T-Rex. But no, I'm gonna say A minus only because I didn't I hated the third round pick. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. And I get why they traded up 2 spots and got rid of a 4th because they really wanted their guy, and maybe they thought he wasn't going to be there because corners were going, but maybe he got duped into making that trade too. Like I kind of, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he got his guy, and I'm cool with that. Other than that, man, I could care less about these, Christians, this guy, Christian Bedford, Luka Tanaka, Tenuta, Baylor Spec, like those guys, we may never hear about again. So yeah, I'm gonna say A minus, man.
Can you tell me who the Bills' 7th round pick was last year?
I almost want to think I know it. I know the 6th round was Marquez Stevenson.
Yeah,
and
I know sure he wasn't the 5th round.
No, 6th round. 6th round pick. 7th round. I don't. Oh,
well, it wasn't
Austin Proel, right? The 2nd.
Austin Proel, right? Yeah. Yep.
Was it? Am I right? I think I'm right on that.
I think that was the year before, but yeah. Or no, Austin Proel was like the kid of
his son. His son of a player. Yeah. I could swear he was. I could be wrong, but no. And then I believe we had a 7th round pick. Was it Dane Jackson was what, a 6th or 7th? I know Dane he Jackson was late.
A later one. Yeah, that was one of those rounds we had 2 in.
Oh, so right here, Damar Hamlin, Apex, Mikey. He was our 7th round.
It went Greg Rousseau number 1, obviously. Basham in the 2nd round, Spencer Brown in the 3rd round, Tommy Doyle. Let me jump all the way to the 5th. We didn't have a 4th rounder. Tommy Doyle in the 5th, Stevenson in the 6th, Damar Hamlin in the 6th, Rashad Wildgoose.
Hamlin was in the 6th, Mikey.
Yeah,
Wildgoose, so was
Wildgoose in the 6th, and then exactly, you've already got this. Jack Anderson in the 7th.
You're wrong, Mikey. Hamlin was the 6th.
They gave us a B.
That's right.
For Jack Anderson.
Round,
I don't even know.
The 7th round was the guy that looked like Baby Richie, right? We call him Baby Richie Incognito. Kind of looked like Richie a little bit.
Yeah,
we got rid of him.
Whatever happened.
Remember, somebody picked him up. I liked him. I thought he was going to be legit. Like honestly, he was like one of those stash away players. Like I thought. And look, he got picked up right away. Somebody picked him up right away off for practice squad, bro.
Tommy Doyle. Yeah, at least all these guys are kind of useful to an extent, other than obviously.
Yeah, hey, Doyle caught a touchdown.
Yeah. I'd love to go through one of these times in the podcast, go through and just see who the 7th-round picks were for the Bills for the last 10 years and see
what was
if any
Dane
of them
Jackson. I'm almost sure Dane Jackson.
Well, I'm looking up the draft class now for that one right there, and
I'm
it's
almost
2020.
sure, bro. Mikey, Dane Jackson.
Dane Jackson was a 7th-round pick. He was picked 239 too, so he was way
That's it.
down
Now
there.
you see, guys, that's a hell of a pickup. Like that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you can win on these weird guys. Like he played for Buffalo, correct?
Wow, that draft class, no.
Okay,
That's Cam Lewis.
Yes.
Cam Lewis played for Buffalo.
Oh,
Dane Jackson could have played for Buffalo too, for all I know. I could be getting this wrong too. Cam Lewis did.
No, I think you're right. I think it was Cam Lewis.
Dane Jackson. We got another cornerback from UB. No, Dane Jackson. Oh, what am I thinking here?
One of the two are from UB. I'm telling you.
Played college. Oh, Dane Jackson was from Pittsburgh. Cam Lewis is definitely from. I watched Cam Lewis play a bunch of games.
Okay, exactly.
At UB, so he's definitely from UB. There was another cornerback we got from UB last year, but he never ended up making the team. But yeah, that's pretty much that as far as that goes. 2020 draft class is kind of like a weird story because if you look at the 1st-round pick, it's or the technically the 2nd-round pick. Remember, it was 54.
AJ, right? That was
AJ
the AJ.
I don't think it's technically. It was definitely a 2nd-round pick. It's 54. But then Zach Moss at 86, and then you've got the stud of the draft so far, which was Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
and then
that was our winner.
Jake Fromm in the 5th. Everybody was surprised by that one.
Fromm
in the 5th.
I hated him the moment we drafted him.
I only liked it because he was Georgia, and it was
I hated him.
SEC.
He reminded me of Trent
Tyler
Edwards.
Bass. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So we won on 2 of those. Hey, not bad.
Well,
we got the best kicker.
We haven't won this one yet, and people really love this guy, but he hasn't done anything yet. Obviously, because he hasn't got a chance. Isaiah Hodgins in the 6th.
Dude, Hodgins going to be like, I'm telling you, he's not going to work out.
He's not going to work out. He has no. I don't know that he has a route to make the team.
He can't.
It's harder every year.
He can't. Two things. He can't separate. He has a great problem separation, and he can't stay healthy. He is hardy. He's hardy all over, bro. From years ago, he just he had a lot of hype in training camp, but
no, not Greg Hardy.
Yeah, James Hardy.
James Hardy, right?
Yeah, a lot of hype. There was another receiver too for Buffalo that he reminds me of that had a lot of hype. He wound up being a really good special teams player for us for like 2 seasons. And then he got hurt or something. We wound up.
Well, we got that one guy, Colby Listenby, but he ended up never really playing.
Oh, Listenby,
he had a lot of injury issues.
It happens. Listen, I think the average time in the NFL for a player is like 3.5 years, bro. 3 years, something. It's really low, bro. So when you see players that are, you're talking about being old. That's. And
you want to see a draft that we did pretty well in? It's the 2019. Well, you can go to the 2017. 2017 is probably the best draft. 2018 was a pretty good draft too. If you go to 2019,
best draft, Josh
Ed Oliver in the 1st round, Cody Ford in the 2nd round. So that's not really very good. Then Devin Singletary in the 3rd round,
and we traded up, by the way, for Cody Ford. Don't forget that.
And we passed over DK Metcalf. Devin Singletary in the. A number of other dude. You don't even want to go through that draft. Terry McLaurin, a number of other players too that were there. So you've got Devin Singletary in the 3rd, and then you got Dawson Knox in the 3rd. That's probably the most elite 3rd round we've had in a long time. Devin Singletary and Dawson Knox. Then you got this guy who I loved. I love this guy, and he never ended up doing anything because he was a hard-hitting dude from Florida, Voshon Joseph.
Oh, I don't know what happened to him. Everybody, that was a guy that Bills Mafia was really high on.
I loved him because he hit people and knocked their heads off.
Yeah, but the thing was, he didn't have the work ethic, bro. So if you don't have the work ethic and all you got is the athleticism and you got traits, but you don't want to work at it, then you're gonna fail. You know what I mean?
He's the only person in that draft class that hasn't got an NFL snap.
Yeah, well,
Jaquan Johnson, the 6th round pick, got snaps. Obviously, he still gets snaps. Yeah. Daryl Johnson got snaps. And then Tommy, that's a pretty good 7th round pick. Tommy Sweeney, 7th. Of course, yeah. It's been, unfortunately since with COVID he had, but 7th round pick. He was trending and looking like a decent tight end, a decent second.
He's too. I thought he was okay, but the problem is, right? Once he got his opportunity, he did not make anything of it. Like he was super slow. Like he was very slow out there. Like then I was screaming at everybody. You see why Dawson Knox is so important and why this guy needs to be on this team because he's an athletic freak, bro. He just needed to clean up his dropping the ball, clean that up, and he would have been a great tight end, which he's becoming, by the way.
Yeah, and I swear this is the last one I'll do. I'm getting stuck on it now. 2018 Bills draft class. We've got
this is
Josh Allen. Well, yeah, of course, because Josh Allen's in the first round there. Then you've got Tremaine Edmonds in the first round there, who, like it or not, maybe he's not super elite.
He's a first round talent. Yeah. He's a first round talent, no matter what Bills.
Like if we do a redraft this year and you put a first round,
he's
there,
still in
give
a
him
first
a rookie
round
contract, start him over again. No, I'm saying if we did a redraft, like a first round redraft, and like he would still be drafted in the first round, obviously.
100%. You
Harrison
can't Phillips, 6'5", like with speed, like and he's super young. He's still younger than some guys coming out. It's like wild, man. So he's
this draft was if we would have kept this guy in the 5th round, this draft would have been friggin' absolutely like the best draft that Bean has had.
Oh, I know who you're talking
honestly
about.
Ever. Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, Harrison Phillips, Taron Johnson in the 4th round. Probably the best slot corner in the league in the 4th round. Saran Neal, really good special teamer, just locked him up on an extension.
A hybrid, a freak.
I'm going to skip the 5th round just for now. 6th round, Ray McLeod, who has been, they like him a lot in Pittsburgh, honestly.
I hate him, but yeah, he stepped his game up. I got to give him credit.
And then, your boy Austin Proehl. Bro, you thought that was last year, bro. That was like 3 years ago.
I told you.
Austin Proehl in the 7th round.
I knew it, though. It was in my head. It's 7th round. I don't know why.
7th round, Austin Proehl. And then the 5th round, all-pro, guard, Wyatt Teller.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson.
All-pro, too. That's the worst part. Like, he might even be
crap to New York.
The saddest part is he'd probably be the best. He'd be the best guard in our team right now.
Of course. Yes, 100%. But like once again, Bills Mafia, you could thank OG Bobby Johnson and Dable for their bad evaluation of a all-pro guard in this league. So I don't know what to tell you. And Bean, listen, I will tell you this: Bean won't ever make that mistake again. He will never he's going to gut it out. Like he's gutting it out for Cody Ford. Think about it. Like he's still not willing to because I almost feel like he's thinking, because I don't want this to be a Teller situation. Though I don't think he's anything like Teller. I think he is what he is. I have
I absolutely
maybe he works better somewhere else, but
and I absolutely promise that this is the last one only because it's the last relevant one. 2017, even though it's Doug Whaley, look at this draft. Dude, this draft would have been insane. Tre'Davious White in the 1st round. I'm gonna say Zay Jones is a good pick now because of the contract he got. He had to do something.
Yeah,
Zay Jones, Deion Dawkins, okay, and then you've got Matt Milano. Those are your first 4 picks: Tre'Davious White, Zay Jones, Deion Dawkins, Matt Milano, and then probably the best pick of the entire draft in the 5th round. You've got Nathan Peterman, and then you've got 6th round Tanner Vallejo. So
great picks there.
Yeah, those last 2 picks they're meaningless. But the first 4 picks are absolutely elite. That's how you start a franchise right there.
That was more of a McDermott draft, by the way, though. I don't think Whaley.
100%. Look at it. Other than
Whaley didn't have any. He got fired.
Whaley was Zay Jones. That's what Whaley was.
He got fired in May, like 1 month after the draft.
He had no say in that.
Bean came in right after the draft of 2017. So that was Sean McDermott's draft. They fired Whaley literally right after the draft. And then that's when we brung in Brandon Bean, which that's what changed everything. Whaley was never going to be the guy. I think they were just waiting for Brandon Bean to finish up in Carolina and come to town.
Well, they said that
look at that.
The Super Bowl
odds saying Vallejo starting for the Cardinals. So he turned it around.
The Super Bowl odds for the Bills that year, I was wrong. It wasn't 85-1. They were 200-1. They went to the playoffs that year, by the way. They were 200-1. Plus 20,000. Now they're plus 650.
I'll tell you what, though, guys. I do think we're going to get to the Super Bowl. I do. I believe in this team. I think we're dangerous as fuck. But the AFC is no joke. Like, the AFC is stacked, bro. Like, this is not going to be like a cakewalk. We're going to have to be.
Well, the AFC West is stacked. Yeah.
AFC in general, bro. Listen,
AFC North
who got better?
Decent, yeah.
So if you want to go through the AFC, so the Dolphins got better. No matter how we think about their quarterback, they still improved. New England, they had a terrible draft, by the way. So I'm going to say
New England didn't get better. Yeah.
Right. They did not. The Jets got better, but they're still.
They got better for the future. better.
Right. So not this year, but they did get better. But the teams that you really got to look for, right? You got the Chargers that really stacked up, right? You got the Raiders that stacked up,
the Broncos,
right? You got
Russell
Denver
Wilson.
that stacked up, right? Who am I missing here? The Colts
Chiefs didn't get better. I can tell you the Chiefs did not get better. They may have done better after the draft. After the draft, they got better, but
yeah. And they're still the Chiefs, and they still got their quarterback. The Chiefs. I mean, bro, there's a. Let me. So I'm gonna look at this list real just real quick before you get off. So in the standings right now, the AFC. So we got this. We got Buffalo, New England, Miami Jets. Okay, so Miami right now, in my opinion, is at least a 10-win team. At least. I thought they were a 10-win team last season. They could be 11 wins. I mean, all depends on their quarterback. Then you got Cincinnati, right, who went to the Super Bowl. You got to give them credit still, right? They had a decent draft. Pittsburgh, they always play tough. Cleveland.
They have Mitch, though. They have Mitch.
Cleveland. You're forgetting
Cleveland got better, certainly, with Deshaun Watson.
Right.
They got better.
Baltimore, they may not have gotten
Baltimore
better.
did not. I can tell you, I'm tied in with that community because I'm an Orioles fan. They did not. They don't even think
they got rid of their guy, but they still play tough. But they're not an easy out, right? You still got to play them. They're still Tennessee. They're not an easy out, right? The Colts, right? They're not an easy out.
Colts are just running it back with a better quarterback. That's it.
You got KC, Vegas, the Chargers, and Denver, all in one division. Bro, so how many teams that there right there? They're at least tough. So that's 4 in the West, Tennessee at 5, Colts 6, Cincinnati 7, Dolphins 8, Cleveland 9. That's 9 and plus us, 10. 10 solid teams in the AFC. The only difference is with us is we got the number 1 quarterback in the NFL. And that's why I think we'll win the Super Bowl.
I would say that.
Look at this. Hey, by the way, I feel you, Jason. I was on with Mikey for 4.5 hours Friday night, and I was on Buffalo FAMbase for 4. So yeah, bro.
Things are slowing down now with the draft.
You said 30 minutes, but
I said 30 minutes. It's been for over an hour. Jeez, yeah. Well, the comments have been keeping me going because they're giving us they're doing our live fact checking here for us, especially when we're wrong. Vallejo's starting for the Cardinals at middle linebacker. I totally should have known that. I actually waited on Tanner Vallejo's family. They got in a fight with the Raiders his rookie year. He got called up for something, so they were coming to watch. So I was bartending at the time, I was waiting on tables and bartending at the Hyatt Regency, which isn't even open anymore, downtown Buffalo. And the Raiders were in town, and visiting fans, because the visiting teams always stayed at the Hyatt Regency. So I do room service and deliver to dudes from different teams. And I was waiting on Tanner Vallejo's family, and they were getting in a fight with all the Raiders fans who were at the bar, and it just went crazy. They got in a huge fight, and the next day there were bottles and stuff broken all over the hallways, and some chick was naked, and it was just something that was crazy. Things were crazy. Raiders fans are crazy at the end of the day. That's basically
that sounds like a Richie Incognito thing.
He may have been involved. That's all I know. I don't know, but
all right, man. So Jason, what do you got going on with Buffalo FAMbase, man? Talk to people, man, because I know you're fresh on here, man.
Yeah, I got Bank with the Backdoor. What I'm doing is it's basically a betting show. It's not basically a betting show. It is a betting show, and I talk about bets, wagers. Obviously, as you can see, I've mentioned the Bills Super Bowl odds quite a bit. I run based on a lot of analytics, and in that foundation here, I'm actually going to check. I just won a bet on my Orioles. That's just a pure luck bet. I never really picked the Orioles to win. I am picking them to win tomorrow, actually, so be prepared for that. I got my 3 picks at the end of the show here, which I always give. 3 picks at the end of the show. We generally recap at the beginning of the show. We didn't do this week because we didn't have a lot of picks last week, but we'll do recaps next week for the picks I'm going to give you in a couple minutes for this week. So it's usually 3 to 4, and if I have none, which I had none a couple weeks ago, I don't give them to you because I want to win, obviously. And historically, as Justice mentioned a couple times, we're up tons and tons of units. We're up friggin' 15 or 20 units since I started with the Super Bowl at betting picks for you guys. So I'm always going to give you picks here. We're going to talk Bills football. We talk some Orioles baseball. We talk some general baseball with baseball starting up just to kind of pique people's interest. I know we got a lot of Stankies fans on here and things along those lines. So get them and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to talk Buffalo sports, definitely with a hard emphasis on Bills football. So I'll give you some.
And when's your show?
Right now it's Saturday at 9:30. However, it's going to be changing. It's going to be a lot easier for people to be able to access it and watch it, not on the break of the new day coming in 40 minutes. So,
all right. Hey, so guys, the best place to find all the information, all the updates, like for Jason's and my channel, Jason's channel, Justice's channel, is on Buffalo FAMbase Twitter, which is the official Bills Mafia Twitter. And this way, Jason will tweet out there, whatever new showtime he's going to be on Friday nights. You'll see updates from Justice. You'll see updates from me, Mikey, everybody that's on the Buffalo FAMbase, Caveman. So and a big shout out to Mookie Hawkins, who is doing the thing out there, by the way, guys. He is just everywhere, interviewing players, coaches, you name it. Follow him, by the way, on Twitter. I think it's Woofo Sports. But come on, you just type his name in, Mookie Hawkins, you'll pop up. So anyways, I think that's it, right, Jason? We out of here?
We are about to be out of here after I give these 3 picks out, and these 3 picks are all winners.
For it, brother.
Let's hope they are, right? So I got 3 picks. We got 2 baseball picks for tomorrow, and we've got a basketball pick tomorrow. So those picks are as follows. First pick I got for you, I'm picking it. I'll also be at the game, going to Toronto in the morning for this game for whatever reason. I hate the Blue Jays and hate the Astros because they're cheaters, but I'm going because my brother wants to go, so we got free tickets. So we have Astros versus Blue Jays tomorrow. It is a match of aces. We've got Kevin Gausman, former Oriole, was with the Giants last year. He's pitching great this year. And we've got Framber Valdez, I guess the so-called ace you could say for the Astros right now. I'm taking the Astros to win. They're plus 134. They're a doggy dog on the money line. Plus 134, you put down $50, you win back roughly 70 to 75-ish dollars, $69 to $70, $72, something like that. It's good money, though. Either way, you're winning back money. That's the first pick. Second pick we've got the Orioles and the Red Sox tomorrow. It's Nick Pivetta versus Jordan Lyles. Lyles is an inning eater, however, he does give up runs. I've got the under on the 8.5. I'm taking an under, a low-scoring game. It is a rubber match. The Orioles tied it up in a walk-off tonight by Robinson Chirinos, and whoever wins tomorrow wins the series. So Orioles looking to win. Red Sox looking to win, of course. Be nice to get a win here for the Orioles here in Camden Yards. I got under 8.5 on the run line. That is minus 114. $50 pay you back roughly $40-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. The odds do change, so don't hold me to these. Obviously, they'll change by tomorrow. Go up or go down. And then tomorrow, we've got basketball. 3:30 p.m. It is Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis. Memphis is a small doggy dog, and they're plus 118 at home dogs. People usually tell you to take them. I'm not taking them. I like Golden State minus 138. Win this thing. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. If you want to throw some money on the over 220.5, I'd advise doing that too. It's minus 110. But $50 pays you back roughly $38.53, I think, to be specific, because I took the bet. I take all the bets I give you guys, but $38.53. Those are my 3 picks. We'll recap them tomorrow, we'll recap them next week. And of course, if I win them, of course, I'll update you on the Twitter feeds. So till then, we will see you then. Tommy, thanks for joining here. Why don't you go ahead and just let them know again real quick where they can see your show specifically and when it's on.
Yeah. Mafia Sports Report, man, every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time with me and Mikey. And I also do a show starting when the preseason starts called the AFC East Shakedown on Saturdays on Mafia Sports Report at 7:30. And that's just everybody. I got some guys that are Patriots guys. I got some guys that are Dolphin guys. They join me. We talk everything AFC East. And I got some other stuff coming up that I'll put on Twitter. And that's Tommy Talks Bills. So I appreciate it, everybody. That's it. Bills Mafia #1, right? And go Bills.
Go Bills.
Peace.